Hey everybody, Ottawa Usopp here with more Sam and Max. Well, actually, it's the first chapter of a new chapter, but still. First installment of a new chapter. Whatever. Whatever the hoo-hoo. Yay! Intro! Alright, as always, this is brought to you by the fine people at GameAnyone.com. A lot of awesome people there. The Devil's Playhouse. Yarr. Okay, I have no idea why I went all pirate there. It's just one of those things that happens on occasion. Get used to it. Alright. Can we start the story?
Thanks to our magnificent brains, most of us live out our lives under the delusion that we are in control. But are our brains truly in control? Makes you think, doesn't it? Engrossed in the thrilling cinematic exploits of their ancestors, the freelance police have had no time to ponder these eternally vexing questions.
Yes,
But in mere moments, they and you will be plunged headfirst into these murky philosophical depths when Sam returns from his ill-timed bathroom break to discover they stole Max's brain.
We have our title! Based on the similar...
Max? Little buddy?
Max? Zoinks!
No, 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 no!
No! What happened?
That is an angry dog.
Hey! What happened to Max? Talk!
We don't know. 1 second we were guarding the devil's toy box, and bam! Out went the lights.
Through a fog of rage, darkness, and raisinets, I tried to remember what Flint Paper told me about interrogating suspects.
Yeah?
Rule number 1, don't let the suspect control the conversation. Get him talking, then surprise him. Interrupt him with a question, or call him a liar, freak him out. And if all else fails, bring little Miss Persuasion out for a stroll.
Go Flint. Try interrupting with a question or a threat. Okay.
Actually, I think it was more of a boom, really.
Really? Because I distinctly heard it more like a bam.
You lie! Why are you lying?
We're not lying. Someone snuck up on us and knocked us out.
How do you think we wound up on the floor like that?
Okay. What else can you tell me?
Well, that's the last thing we remember until you woke us up and started snarling at us.
Yeah, that's the last thing we remember.
Rule number 2, timing is everything. When you hear the suspect lying, that's when you jump in and accuse him.
Okay. When you have different parts of a story, you get different responses.
Yup, I was totally unconscious the whole time. I certainly didn't see anything interesting. No sirree, Bob.
Liar!
All right. I came to before Jebediah, just in time to hear the telltale sounds of a brain being removed from a bunny.
The telltale
Obadiah,
sound?
why didn't you do anything?
I was afraid. Afraid that he'd remove my brain, too.
Who? Who took Max's brain?
It was the space gorilla.
Skunk Ape.
Of course. He must have been released from the penal zone when the toy box was stolen.
I'm so sorry.
Not half as sorry as that brain-stealing space ape's gonna be when I catch up with him.
Rule number 3, mole men are easy. To crack the tough nuts, you'll need information to prove your case. Sometimes you gotta ask around to get the dirt on the doers. Now, go get 'em,
We're going to be playing Phoenix right here. Info for one suspect can help you break another.
I wrote a mental note to thank Flint at Max's funeral and got ready to squeeze some punks.
Heavy. Punk squeezins.
General Skunky. I should have known. That space ape had wanted Max's brain ever since he found out it was special. Now that special brain was gone, and I was cut loose, drifting in the neon current, hoping for a lucky break. Hello, ugly. You're one of Skunk Ape's goons. Where's your boss? What did he do to my little buddy?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkapi since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone.
Unjustly?
I'll never forget his final terrified howl as it echoed across the dimensional boundaries. Anyhow,
You're the wussiest
since
sounding gorilla ever.
Skunkapi's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating my life choices. I've abandoned violence for a career as a sign spinner. It's a very fulfilling, low-temperature job.
You lie!
No, it's true! I've abandoned a life of violence and conquest for an honest, peaceful job as a sign spinner. See?
Ah, yes. So, where were we?
But enough about me. You should talk to the rat. Yes, the rat. He certainly seems plugged into the ins and outs of this glorious and filthy metropolis.
But where's Skunk Ape?
I already told you. I don't know. I
Apparently you
haven't
have to
seen
ask
General
fast.
Skunkapi.
Alright.
I'll never forget his final terrified howl as it echoed across the dimension.
Then what?
Since Skunkapi's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating.
Yes.
I've
That's about the
abandoned
rat.
violence for a career as a sign spinner. It's a very fulfilling, low-temp...
What happened next?
But enough about me. You should... Yes, the rat.
Rat? What rat?
Frankie the rat. He traffics in stolen merchandise in tawdry gambling rings.
Where can I find him?
He hangs out on the corner of Veni and Vidi in the Latin Quarter.
Venny and Beanie. Good to know. Alright, you gotta get your timing down in this episode. Everything's
Frankie
a
the
puzzle.
Rat. The name left a bad taste on my tongue and an itchy sensation in my boxers. Still, there wasn't a rodent more plugged into the bad wiring in the city.
I'm really liking the story flow of this chapter. I wish it had more Max in it, but dude, I'm liking the way it's Angry Sam is kind of awesome. I'm liking the way it feels like an old detective noir. How's he gonna get out of the car?
Hey, Rat.
Sam, buddy, how's it hanging?
My partner's got a bad case of a missing brain, and someone thinks you might know something about it.
Brain, huh? Well, I did see something unusual and brain-related a little while back.
Spill!
I was given directions to a confused tourist. Poor fellow was wandering around in circles, scaring all the kiddies with his umlauts and Todesnacks.
Where?
Hey, take it easy, big fella. I sent him right over that way, about 2 miles.
That was quick.
Frankie the Rat helping a tourist? It was absurd. Absurd like Max was, back when he had a brain. So imagine my surprise when I found Frankie's tourist wandering around the bad side of town.
I'm not gonna have time at any point to stop for a video break, am I? Oh, what do you know? It's not who I thought it would be. Oh wait, Jurgen's dead.
Oh, ah.
So he can't be Jurgen. I mean, he couldn't have been Jurgen, is what I mean.
You, foreign guy, what's your story?
Ooh, an American police shakedown. How thrilling.
Yeah, it's a real honor. Now, what do you know?
Well, about an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats.
And Frankie sent you here?
Yeah.
That dirty lion rat.
You know, back in Europe, I had so many warnings about your country's rats, but this Frankie was so gracious and helpful. Anyhow, I was about to give him a tip for the help, when all of a sudden a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg erupted in the middle of one of your asphalt fjords.
What?
At least I think it was a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg. It might have been more of an Ödeler Spuckenfreundl affair.
Ultra super colored what now?
A Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg. My people's word for a stunning battle between a strangely garbed man and an alien space gorilla carrying a brain in a jar.
Fascinating.
So, where was I? Oh, yes. After the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed and ibble-skibbled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. You know what else? I'm starting to think that this isn't actually the museum district. Maybe I am mistaking the friendly rat's directions.
Just a second, I don't need to know how long I've been going. Alright, we got more time.
People in this country are so intense!
So, where do we go from here?
The tourists seemed like just another victim circling the drain, but I knew there was more to the story. It was time to circle back and flush out the truth.
There we go. Now I will have time to pause, thank God.
Frankie, what do you know?
I was given directions to a confused tourist.
To the museum district?
Yeah. Poor fellow was wandering around in circles, scaring off...
Don't lie to me, Frankie. I talked to your tourist, and it looks to me like you sent him over to the wrong side of town to get rolled by your rat pack.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But this conversation is over. I ain't saying nothing till I get some legal representation. The nerve of some people. Trampling a rat's gut.
Do you want a lawyer? Here's an attorney from Smith & Wesson.
Okay,
Whoa.
okay, I'll talk.
Jeez! Dang!
Like you guessed, I gave
Go
the tourist
Sam.
directions to the bad side of town, but I was just winding them up, really. Hey, ask me, the schmuck deserved it. Acting all high and mighty and European, wearing his fancy socks. When the big fight broke out, me, the tourist, and the other gorilla ducked down behind a crate, and I, picked their pockets. The tourist was loaded with high-exchange European stuff, but all the other...
Other gorilla? What other gorilla?
Believe it or not, it was another space ape. He was spinning a sign for some pet store, the poor schlub.
So that dirty punk sign spinner did see Skunk Ape.
Anyway, after the fight moved on, the tourist got a nice souvenir for his trouble, and I skedaddled back here. And that's all I know, honest. Ask anybody. They'll vouch.
Liar!
No, honest, I came right back here. And then you showed up and started slapping me around.
Alright.
So now what?
Now we go confront
Stick
this
around.
gorilla.
I may be back.
I shall count the minutes.
Now we go slap us around a gorilla. I think he's standing around in nothing but underwear. It's kind of creepy.
I'm back.
Little
Now
speedo.
where's Skunk Ape?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunk Copy since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone.
Liar!
The
Liar!
gorilla's final terrified howl
Liar!
as it echoed.
That story ain't gonna wash, Bonzo. Your pal Frankie told me all about how you and he hid from a fight between Skunk Ape and some other guy. Now make with the lip flapping and I'd better like what I hear.
It's true. A few of your Earth minutes ago, I was spinning my sign for Frankie the Rat and a tourist when General Skunkape came running down the street, chasing after a strangely garbed man. To my everlasting shame, I cowered behind a crate like a common Venusian
Strangely garbed?
Yes, a man in a faded jacket and a strange hat. He seemed to be carrying a box of some sort. General Skunkape was in hot pursuit. After the general and the stranger fled the scene, I discovered that he had dropped this. Surprised he didn't come back for it, but he appeared.